Hello, it is Deborah, and today is the 4th of July. It is our day of independence, our day of liberating ourselves, celebrating liberating ourselves from the dominion of other people's demands and rules. And today, I want to talk about my United States. I super love this topic. I subscribe to these United States. I live in these United States. I'm so proud of these United States, and I stand for these United States. I take a stand for this, and I will fight for these United States. So here's what my United States are, and I invite you to use any of them, to experience any of them, to share any of them, so that you can also live in these United States yourself. The first United State that I love belonging to is the United State of Joy. It's just a super awesome state to inhabit. The number two United State that I embrace and I love to be part of is compassion. Check it out. Try it on. See how it feels for you to live in the United State of compassion. I guarantee you'll have more ease and more freedom and more pleasure and more joy and more fun and more energy because you're not giving your precious mental capacity to stuff that is a drag. Number three, the United State of forgiveness. This is a great state to hang out in, especially the part about forgiving yourself. That is pretty much the hardest state to live in. You know, it's kind of like a red state, but you want to befriend it, because when you befriend that state of forgiveness and you live in the state of forgiveness, everything's copacetic. And ultimately, you know, these are the states that I live in. Of course, that would bring me to the next United State, which is the United State of peace. That really is my goal, my mission, my vision. It is everything that I teach. How do we arrive at a state of inner peace no matter what? Because there's always going to be stuff coming at us from other people, from experiences, from the news, and we can't control all of that, but we can control what's going on right in here. And so when you discover ways to understand the map of your programming and you know how to get yourself out of a ditch, it is super, super duper awesome. Hey, Satnamji, so happy to see you here. That would be you, David. Okay, I got all distracted. So I'm talking about the United States. If you just joined me, so I'm waxing eloquent about how I really love being a citizen of the United States, and these are my United States. So I know you're a Brit, but I want to invite you to join me in the United States where I live. The first state that I love is joy. The second state that I inhabit is compassion. The third state that I was just talking about is forgiveness. Another state, and then I talked about the state of peace, which is really my favorite state of all. Then there's the state of curiosity. That is a super fun state to be in, because when you're in the state of curiosity, here's the thing about your brain. So your brain has three main goals that it is going to do no matter what. It's like on the job, and its first job is to be the baddest, badassiest bouncer ever. And it's like this super ginormous guy in leather who's super handsome, and he is like keeping you safe. That is your brain's job, is to keep you safe. Number two, it's your brain's job to conserve energy. Once those two conditions are met, once your brain is convinced that you got this, that nothing life-threatening is happening, and that you have the capacity energetically to run more energy through your system, now your brain is going to be curious. And that is so super duper fun, because when you have new experiences, you know, life is a grand adventure waiting to happen. I took a silly personality test this morning, and one of the questions was, I get bored more easily than most people. And I was like, really? I'm never bored, because not only is there so much fascinating stuff happening in Mother Nature all day long, and there's so much fascinating stuff happening in the world all day long, but like what's going on in here? Oh my gosh, like that is way more intriguing to me even than outer space, because inner space, as far as I'm concerned, is the next great frontier. And I spend a lot of time in there, and I teach people to experience the pleasure of the shunya, of the neutrality, because it's a super fun place to be curious. Then you get to experience so much without judgment, because judgment actually will put the kibosh on your experience. The next state, you can tell I live in this state, is the state of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm literally means having God in you. I feel that all the time, pretty much. And even when I land in the quicksand of suck, which sometimes happens, I'm still finding pleasure in that space, because everything is happening for me. Nothing is happening to me. I'm not the victim of any experience. I'm the creator of all of it. So when you are able to really embody and integrate and incorporate the experience of carrying God around with you all day long. It is a super fun ride, people. The next state that I love is clarity. Its neighbor is confusion. I don't like to live in that state, and I don't very often, but occasionally, you know, confusion is right up there with the quicksand of suck. And sometimes, you know, it's there because there's a calling in the confusion, right? It's like your soul is knocking and your soul actually wants to get out, and it's just spinning its wheels in this old pattern because it's scared. And, you know, for you to take action for what you know you want to do may be a little scary. But when you get clarity, you just go right for it. Super, super fun. And then, of course, you get more results. Then you have more happiness, you have more time, you have more prosperity, you have more clients, you have more fun, you have more freedom, you have more what appear to be coincidences, but you realize that you created them because it started here, and whatever came out of here got magnetized on the other end. So it's super fun to play in the land of clarity. Aliveness, that's another big one. If you're not plugged into Source, you are not plugged into an inevitable, unstoppable, infinite power source that's available to you. And a lot of people don't live plugged into Source. They don't know how to access it, or they don't feel comfortable running that much energy through your system. And if you are at all curious about how to tap into greater aliveness, greater fun, greater freedom, greater ease, and just being you, then PM me and I'll hook you up, because it's pretty easy and pretty fun once you create the habit of connecting to Source all the time. Another state that I belong to is the United State of Awareness. So the United State of Awareness is, it actually rings around the quicksand of suck, because, you know, sometimes our awareness lands us right in that mire, that bog, and yet we all crawled out of the swamp. So in a way, when I land there, I realize, oh, like I'm just back to something very primal, and, you know, it's my choice. Do I want to hang out there for a while because I haven't visited it in quite a long time, and do I want to remember this is what I crawled out of, or do I want to be a victim and wait to be rescued? That's normally not my choice. I don't like that very much. I'm much more action oriented and results oriented and self-empowerment oriented. But, you know, it's also really nice sometimes when somebody offers you a hand and somebody's there to help you. So it's not all terrible, right? In fact, nothing is all terrible. I don't even believe that terrible is a very relevant word in my experience anymore, because everything is happening for my upliftment. So, you know, that really gets into the joy and the compassion and the curiosity. When you approach life through those lenses, nothing seems terrible because you're just curious about all of it. Another United State that I love is coherence. And there is actually a scientific term, coherence. What that comes from is to stick together, right? Co with her, like adhere. But when you think about the heart, there's some cool research coming out of the HeartMath Institute at Stanford, and there is something that happens when we get in alignment with our own vibration, our own rhythm, and with other people, and our hearts actually sync up, and that's called coherence. And when we get in that state of coherence, we're in integrity, we're in congruence, and we're in a kind of flow state where things seem to happen almost before we've recognized the desire for them to happen. You know, the door opens before you approach it. It's almost like, it's like walking through life, and everything is those automatic doors, and you step on the thing and the doors open before you even get there. That's what your life has the potential to become when you arrive in a state of coherence. Don't you want to come hang out in the United States, right? They're cool. Congruence, I already mentioned that one. Appreciation, that is an awesome state. And there's good neurological evidence that when we live in a state of appreciation, which shares a border with gratitude, that you actually prime your brain to go and find more of what you're looking for. So when you live in a state of appreciation, you look for what is good. You look for what is right. You look for what you can instead of what you cannot. You look for what you have instead of what you don't. You look for what is rather than what is missing. And when we're in this state of appreciation 24/7, you actually prime your brain to go look for appreciation all day long. And then you start finding it all day long. So it becomes this upward spiral of awesomeness. State of happiness, I live there quite a lot. The state of inspiration, that's also neighbors with enthusiasm. And inspiration is something that is accessible the minute you get your ass on the meditation cushion. It's there the minute that you stop doing. It's there the minute you stop focusing. Which is why I love meditation so much, because when you give yourself to something bigger than you, to a mantra or to God or to the vibration of all that is, to your breath, to bird song, there's so many ways to meditate. When you give your mind permission to wander and do nothing and be in this expansiveness of all that is, anything can come in. Right? And when you're super fixed on one thing and that's all you're looking at, it's like you have blinders on and that's all you can see, and then you miss everything else. And the truth is that we live in a state of all possibility, and we can hook up to the quantum field any old time you want. Hello, Karen. So nice to see you. This whole video is for you. It will inspire you huge. So when you get into the state of inspiration, you realize that anything is possible. And you just create what you want from your desire, as opposed to when you're in some of the disconnected states, then your life kind of feels like, well, how am I going to get there? And nobody's going to pay me for that. And I don't have enough experience. And, you know, it's kind of like self-sabotaging after self-doubting, after self-animus thought, and you never get anywhere. And, you know, and then you land in the quicksand of suck. So, and you can get out of it by some of these other states that I mentioned. However, if you just live in the state of inspiration, you just become open to this constant flow, which is, again, super fun. And that's one of my goals, is to like have a super fun life. Why not? Right? What am I here to do but spread love, be joy, inspire others to pursue their dreams and live their truth. Pretty simple. The state of wellness, that is a big, powerful state. And that is a state that requires deliberate, conscious action every single day. This state of well-being includes what you put in your mouth. It includes, does it have chemicals? Does it have pesticides? Does it have hormones? Is it animal, right? Animal, if you choose to eat animals, some people are totally all about the paleo and getting enough protein. And, you know, that might be great for their bodies. And other people feel like the energy of eating animal products is very tamasic, it's very heavy, it's very almost stagnant, it's a very earthy, grounding energy. And, you know, that may be at cross purposes with your desire for elevation, if you're a yogi. And there's no right or wrong here, it's just what feels great for you, right? And ultimately, when you lean into the truth of you, you will know what's right for you. So the state of wellness has to do with what you put in your mouth. It also has to do with, do you consume alcohol? Do you smoke cigarettes? How much exercise do you get? Do you take a cold shower or an ice bath or other ways of detoxifying the body? Do you meditate, right? The internal environment is just as important as the external environment. So many things contribute to the state of wellness. What kind of self-talk do you use with yourself? And, you know, do you give yourself permission to make mistakes? Are you a perfectionist? Or if you screw up, do you immediately start to say, oh, I'm such a moron? I made a mistake this morning. I had a wrong link that I sent to my list, and a whole bunch of people are writing to me. And I'm like, oh, oops, I made a mistake. Like, I'm modeling for you that it's okay. You can make a mistake and you can still be a genius. Okay, so that's wellness. State of generosity. Y'all know that I'm all about the state of generosity. I'm on day 92 of free awesome content, and I include a ton of really great valuable content about how to change your money mindset and how to achieve greater ease and prosperity in your life through many of the offerings that I do online. And I give lots of free strategy sessions with people because I really want to help you get on your path to awesomeness too. So generosity is a great state to lead from, and the reality is that the inner creates the outer. So the more generous you are, the more you're telling your subconscious mind, I have plenty to give because more is coming. And the more generous you are financially, when you contribute to causes you care about, you're telling your subconscious mind, I know more money is coming. And you're also telling your subconscious mind, I belong to something bigger than me. And that feels really great because you're reminding yourself that you matter. So generosity has so many great little tentacles coming off of it. The next state is the state of connection. And you can tell, obviously, that I love that state too. because I connect with you guys every single day, and I will continue to, although I'll be more consistent in the future. So in the future, I'll let you know I'm showing up. It's probably going to be, I'm thinking Monday, because Monday kind of sounds like money, so it'll be like Monday Money Mojo or something like that. I don't know, I haven't decided, but that's kind of what's percolating. And it'll be at the same time every Monday, and then you know how to find me and you can respond. Are you liking this content? Give me some hearts and some likes if you're liking these United States that we get to live in. I'd love to know if you're watching. Okay, so what else do we have? We have the United State of Creativity. That's a super fun state. It's related to the state of inspiration and enthusiasm. Thank you. I love seeing the thumbs and the hearts. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So creativity, we are ultimately the creators of our own experience. And once you realize that and you just jump on it and you just effing go and do it, oh my goddess, you are so powerful and so plugged in, and you can do anything you want. You can create anything you want. Now it's going to require you to deal with some of your limiting beliefs like fear and anxiety and self-doubt and judgment. People pleasing, all that stuff is going to need some more love. But I really, really encourage you to step into your creative power with a capital C and P, capital C creative, capital P power, so that you can have what you want. You can have the freedom, the prosperity, the peace of mind, the friendships, the deep, intimate connections with people, with the planet. It's so meaningful. I love the United State of Possibility. That's that state of access to the quantum field, access to all intelligence. We call that the, what do we call it? The Atman, or the, there's a term in Ayurveda for like the greater mind, the big mind, the universal mind. And, you know, you access that through this, because this is connected to this. There's constant communication and flow and exchange between this and the great. So possibility is possible for you once you choose to embrace it. The great state of gratitude, the great state of gratefulness, I already talked about that. Great state of laughter, that's another great one. And that is related to connection. The state of awe. And that's related to the state of curiosity. Okay, I only have 5 more states. Flow state, I'm in that pretty much most of the time. And when I get out of the flow state, then it's like, well, okay, I just pulled my raft over to the bank and I'm having a picnic. And I'm going to be beached for a while, and then I'll get back in the river. It's okay, it's all good. The state of prosperity, that's a fun state. So prosperity literally means you looking forward, spero, anticipating. The state of prosperity is when you know, when you have 100% confidence and conviction that what you are creating is what you're creating, right? Because you know you're doing it, because you're doing it. And you look forward to it. Your mindset, your attitude creates your altitude. So the state of prosperity is a super good one. And then ease. I have a mantra, which is ease works for me. Ease works for me. I'm the boss of ease, right? So if I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, it's like, okay, ease, you got to get back on the job, right? So I need to do some self-care. I need to go have an ice bath, or go jump in the pool, or take a cold shower, or have a dance party in my office, or go outside in nature and ground, or hug my dog, or drink some water, or have some green juice. There's so many different ways I know to create the state of ease for myself. Even just reminding myself, you know, Deborah, you can choose to unhook from that thing that's making you feel kind of bad, and you can choose to hook into something that feels better. You can choose to acknowledge and be grateful for the thing that feels not that great in your body, and you can choose to hook into something that feels easy and fun for you, right? So there are lots of ways, from self-talk to food to water to, you know, you can use all the elements to create ease, basically. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, all of them are available to you to create more ease in your life. The state of desire. So the state of desire, why wouldn't you want that? For a lot of people, the state of desire is scary, because the minute they have a desire, there's some subconscious programming that runs that says, you don't deserve that. You can't have that. You're never going to have that. And it immediately puts the kibosh on you having what you want. So I encourage you to explore being in the state of desire and knowing that you can have what you want and actually going out and getting it. And then you start to build confidence that more is available to you, because it is. Last one, pleasure. I don't need to say any more about that. So that said, I am going to go out and have some pleasure myself. First, I'm going to go, hello train. See, my train of thought was interrupted. I'm going to go to the public swimming pool, which I love. and I put in my waterproof nano and I chant. So that's pleasure thing number one. And then I'm gonna go take a hike, and I'm gonna be in the high mountains, and I'm gonna have a picnic, and I'm gonna celebrate my 4th of July. I'm gonna celebrate my independence in the mountains where I feel very free. So have a wonderful day. Let me know if you loved this, what resonated for you, and I'm so happy to share the United States with you. Wherever you are in the world, you are welcome to join me in these United States. Love.